Well, here we are in September. This is the 10th, and I'm standing here in 70-degree weather, which I thought we'd never see again after the hottest summer on record, according to National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration data. But the important part is to see what's looking good at this point in the trials in early September, and we have some really nice plants. Some things have not fared well. We've gotten a 5-inch rainstorm with Hurricane Ida, 3-inch rainstorm the other day, and of course a lot of wind associated with that causing some plant breakup. Well, I'm delighted to be here today with Crystal Snyder, who's been a great asset and assistant in this trials program this year, and both of us will take you through this video sequence and show you what is looking good now.
All right, sounds like plan. So in front of me is the Bloomify Rose from Ball Flora Plant. It is a sterile introduction in the Lantana series, and this is still blooming really well. It has a great mounding habit in a beautiful kind of peachy rose pink coloration. So in front of me, this Lantana Shamrock White from Ball Flora Plant is an excellent introduction into the Lantana line. We're seeing a lot of seed set and reduction in bloom in a lot of our Lantana at this point of the year, but Shamrock just keeps on giving.
Every year as we get to this point in the season, I always think that some of the best performing plants are these Celosias for late season impact. This is a part of the Kilos Fire series. This is Kilos Fire Orange, obviously, and it's a beautiful performer, a lot of blooms, and a really strong finisher at the end of the season. So Beacon Camp has done a great job with this series.
This Celosia Kilos Fire Purple is just stunning. I love this. I love it for fall color. I think it would be a great addition to a mum program with mums and asters and ornamental peppers. And I also want to say that this was a Director's Select in 2018, 2019, and 2020. So another great introduction from Beacon Camp.
This has been a very interesting entry from Pan American Seed. This is a pepper called Candy Cane Chocolate Cherry. And as the fruits mature, they're variegated, just like the foliage, and then taking on a darker color of orange and red. Really beautiful sweet pepper with a lot of cool flavor and excellent appearance. So wonderful addition to your pepper production wherever you may be. Okay, so here are a couple real stars for late season. This is the Lunar Kilos Lunar series, violet red, and over here we have pink. They also have a number, won't trouble you with that, but excellent performers late season. These were not blooming so strongly in July and early August, but now they're coming into their full fruit. Well, here's a really great plant that was entered in the program this year. This is the Sun Parasol Mandavia from Suntory, and it has been glorious all year, giving rise to these wonderful yellow flowers with a darker eye zone. It makes a really stellar contribution to your garden and to our trials. A nice new perennial plant that actually came to us from proven winners this year is the Calypso, and these are species that are growing out in the Midwest, Oklahoma, Texas, as perennial plants. Proven winners asked us to trial these in containers, which is fine, but I'd like to remark on this bloom. Really a magnet for the bees and pollinator insects, and it's been blooming beautifully all season long. A great plant. Well, some of the best petunias in the program every year are the Supertunias from proven winners, and this is a Supertunia Mini Vista series, which is really nice, small flower, but just look at the performance here in the second week of September. Really good cultivar.
All right, so we were driving around and drove by this Calibracoa Rainbow Tiger Tail from Doom and Orange, and if you remember back to our first video, I kind of claimed this as my favorite and I thought it was excellent. Still love the flowers. I think it's really great. It's one of our few Callies that's still in bloom here in the second week of September, so definitely going into my program.
Another great series in the petunia department are the Decos, which come to us from Syngenta Flowers actually. And here is Deco Banana, which has been a strong performer last year and also a very good performer this year. That we have this much color at this point in time is remarkable. So really great job in developing this plant, Syngenta. Wonderful. So here in the shade are some also beautiful performing New Guinea impatiens. This is the Rococo series from Kienzler, North America, and they have a wonderful array of these new cultivars for 2022. They're coming out orange, purple, and white. And what's so beautiful about these plants is the flowers. They're wonderful double form or semi-double form, and as they open, they turn out as little rosebuds. You might be able to see that there. So a really beautiful presentation and great performance here in the second week of September. One of the really successful lines of plants that we're growing in the trials, and these have been here for several years, are the sun-standing impatiens from Doom and Orange. And just look at the size of these. They really have grown up to a great maturity, and they're loaded with flowers. So all of these cultivars are pretty successful. Some do a little better than others, of course, but that's not the point. This is a wonderful line and a very good finishing, strong performer. Another really wonderful group of New Guinea impatiens is the Sun Patience from Cicada Seed America. And these have really changed the application of impatiens across America in gardens and so forth. You're able to plant them in full sun. And just look at these beauties. This is Orchid Blush right here. Here we have Rose Glow over here, which is another stellar color. And then a couple of combination of the individual cultivars, which also have performed very well throughout the growing season.
So in front of me and behind me is the Impatiens New Guinea Wild Rose series from Doom and Orange, and this one is the blush pink, and the flower power on this is magnificent. Has a really great mounding habit, slightly semi-double flower, I guess you would say, but all of the cultivars of this variety are doing really, really well. I really do love this magenta one here, and that one is the Hot Rose.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.